'Tis the season for some legions, O Druids, Droomies, Yuletide headbangers, and Krampus sycophants. The solstice be upon us, and so, too, a silent chill is in the air. Christmas or not, the grim truth is metal has always explored humanity's darker tendencies. Sadists and their sick exploits have narrated some of metal's most insidious forays into music. Jack the Ripper, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer. Despite their foul deeds, they have fascinated metalheads and the broader zeitgeist for years. But nestled away in the Chicago suburbs resides a killer whose small stature and boyish charm belies his sadistic fantasies. Kevin McAllister is perhaps the most evil and most metal protagonist in the history of Christmas cinema, and we plan to unpack it all today in our Ghoultide special. So, stuff those stockings full of guts, pour yourself a cup of blood nog, and cozy up next to the warmth of a rotting corpse, because today the Druids explore Home Alone, or what we like to call the improbable story of a torture porn flick turned cult Christmas classic. Now slasher, romancer with letters from prison, fresh vomit on Cupid and Dahmer's incision, with graves under the porch and stench from the hall. Now thrash away, thrash away, thrash away all. Storm Ruler, go! Oh boy. Well, Franny, what can I say? With the popularity of Dahmer, I binge watched that entire show on Netflix, and I'm working on a promo. I'm always writing these promos, and had to find a way to work Dahmer into the conversation, considering what we're here to talk about today.
Oh yeah, you got to squeeze it in whenever you can, man. I'm not gonna lie though, I have yet to see that show, but I hear nothing but good things, which is kind of weird since it's about Dahmer. But that's a topic for another day.
Well, Franny, what up, my druid from another fluid, is what I'm here to ask you today. I can't believe, for all of our listeners out there, Franny and I, we always get talking at about 5:30 in the morning, and I'm bleary-eyed, I'm waking up, I'm tired as hell, not ready for my workday, and all of a sudden I look at my messages, and there's Franny screaming at me, what up, my druid from another fluid, and I knew, this boy's got it, this is magic, this is Druids of Doom Gold.
I don't know. It just fucking came to me, dude. I was just like, there's got to be another play on this that we can use for Druid or whatever. And it just fucking came to me, and I was just like, oh boy, I was like cracking up out loud when I wrote that text. It was
as good as it gets. And, you know, I needed that sort of laughter and that warmth because we, much like a lot of America, I mean, we are dealing with a historically cold snow-nami polar vortex.
Oh, God.
I mean, dogs are sleeping with cats. I mean, hell has frozen over. We got howling winds, 40 below temperatures, 12 inches of snow. This shit is insane. And I've been looking forward to this distraction because I don't want to shovel again.
It's so fucking real out there, man.
It's real shit. Like, this is like, I was connecting with a little, you know, Cro-Mag tribal elder. I'm like, now, Castle, tonight's not the night that you should be walking back from your local tavern. Like, I don't want to find you in a snowbank here. I don't think you're going to make it.
I don't want you to be like dude from The Shining just sitting in a snowbank, just, you know. We don't need that.
Well, we've got a hell of a show today. We've got our topic du jour, breaking down Home Alone. We've got our first annual Riffies, breaking down what we've loved over 2022. And I think we might even, as Druids, I think we might just take a little Windex to our crystal balls and see what might the future of heavy metal hold. So buckle up. It's going to be a fucking fantastic show. And maybe, Franny, speaking of Druid from another fluid, I'd like to give a shout out to Darren the Degenerate. Just a young Droomie.
Hell yeah.
He's been tuning in, sent us some fan mail. Druids of Doom podcast at gmail.com. We want to hear from you. Darren, it was really cool. He writes in, I would just like to thank you guys for introducing me to all sorts of different metal music and bands to listen to. And he says, you know, He may be starting on this journey of metal, but having the Druids of Doom in his ear holes, making suggestions is like a demon on his shoulder, and he knows he's in good hands. Can't wait to hear the next episode, brothers. Well, we like having you in our ear holes. We want to be in your ear holes to start, and let's see where the night goes, Darren. But Darren the Degenerate, thank you for reaching out. Always fantastic to hear from Droomies. And Druids of Doom podcast at gmail.com. Fuck, how many times? Let's go, boys.
Nice and deep in your ear holes, yeah.
Oh, I just feel the slither of your tongue across my lobe when you did that. I'm going to need at least like a Marie Callender's pot pie. Like, you don't gotta take me out to a nice dinner, but you gotta put something in my stomach. Hold on. Hold on.
I was about to say, do you want to put a pin in that right now?
You talking about an appetizer or a dessert? It's like a little bit of column A, column B. Okay. 12 Days of Christmas right here for you. So
Jeepers creepers, baby.
Well, we've got a lot to get to here, Franny, but let's maybe open here with what we have been billing as just the death metal tour of a lifetime that you were at, I was at, a potato farmer was at, the Cro-Mag tribal elder was at, and I got to say, probably all of the Twin Cities heavy metal scene was at. And I'm talking about the Amon Amarth headlined cattle decapitation, obituary, carcass, death metal extravaganza that was a couple weeks ago.
Wow, dude, that I was so excited for that show. We had tickets for that show like, I don't know, 5 months in advance, 6 months in advance, something like that. And
long time.
Man, it was just super exciting to finally get to go. I told work to go fuck itself. It was fantastic. I was like, I'm not missing this shit for nothing. And we had a big old super group. We had like, 10 guys or something like that?
We were mobbed up. We were rolling with an entire HBO entourage, and
sure.
And no, I'm before I shame myself and reveal what archetype I went as, I want to just say that this place was absolutely jam-packed. You couldn't fit another body in there with a 5-gallon drum of grease. It was,
oh my God.
I mean, it was full to the point where I was uncomfortable. I felt myself like, I felt anxiety in that club. It was so goddamn full. And, that's just overall, we keep talking about, Franny, that this is just a renaissance of death metal. I got to say the attendance of that show is a testament and another sign heavy metal is healthy as hell.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah, it was completely packed, completely sold out show. I mean, even if you wanted to get in, you weren't getting in. Like, if you didn't have a ticket, like, well before that, you weren't getting in. It was nuts.
It's wild to think that I saw aftermarket prices on tickets going for like, $120, and again, this is heavy. I want bands to charge more for shows, honestly. Like, I think a lot of shows that they charge $25-$30, like, I would pay $50 to support
absolutely.
Bands. But it was good to see that, this band got a good turnout. And, okay, so I think it's time to just go ahead and get this self-flogging out of the way and just reveal that I LARPed it up to this show and you LARPed it up. And we, as a small Scottish clan, LARPed it up. We were all kilted to the bone. And it was pretty cold, but it was warm. It was warm in that venue. I have no regrets.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was cold outside, warm on the inside. And there was a bunch of us that went in kilts.
At this point, I'm just looking for excuses to wear one of my man skirts, and this afforded me said opportunity. But before we get to Amon Amarth, I just want to throw out, I love Obituary. It was so amazing to see them live. And because the show was so packed, I was struggling the entire fucking concert to find a vantage point that would let me absorb the music on my own terms. And I don't know, this is becoming sort of a tradition of mine when I go to venues, is whether it's a sporting event or a concert, I like to try to play the catch me if you can game. And I did not have a VIP ticket, but I snuck into VIP.
Oh, yes, you did.
I had the most fantastic fucking view for Obituary, the band I'm most loyal to. Obituary. If you want to talk about those 4 bands, they are the one that is most special to me. And John Tardy, fucking legend. So I was perched up like a nice, I felt like royalty, looking down on all you sweaty grease hogs rowing and waiting for Amon Amarth, breathing your goddamn COVID variants all over the place. And I'm up there. I felt like Xerxes looking down on my Persian Empire. And it was fantastic. If look at, we could concert survival. We're going back to concert survival. You talk about saving money. This isn't really saving money. It's about how not to spend money, but get a premium package. Check this out. So an usher came by and checked the people's tickets next to me and booted them out. And I had a brief moment where I felt like an inner anxiety, like, oh shit. But
my ticket's about to be punched right there.
Seriously. And it was in that moment. Now, this is where, as an anthropologist, you have to be able to put on sort of like your calming balm and just chill, because I projected in that moment, fuck you, I belong sitting right here. And I just looked at him and he looked at me like, yes, sir, I can see you are of the upper crust of society. You belong here. Didn't check my ticket. I didn't flinch. He went on down the line and that's where I stayed. Obituary.
Okay.
What a view.
God. What?
That was my highlight.
That was so, you texted, because we were all trying to find you, everybody, because, we'd meet up at the bar and then we would kind of, divide and conquer. Yeah, you totally, you did. You Houdini'd our ass. But you texted us and you're like, you should try to get in the VIP. And I'm just like, the fuck you talking about? I don't have a pass for that. And then Neckwrecker's like, yeah, me neither. I'm just like, what? How did you, what is going on here?
If I have taught you nothing, it's that as an anthropologist, you have to study the crowd and you have to wear different skins depending on the show. And I could see the second I walked through that door that there was just a burgeoning middle class of juggalos all around me. And I'm like, I can't tolerate this. I gotta beat my feet and be with my people. So, they're fanning me with palms. I'm drinking a mint julep. Enjoy. Bottom line, the highlight for me, before I kick it back to you to get some other thoughts, I loved Obituary. I'll never get over them. And for me, that was my highlight. But I believe you were right 2 rows back for when Carcass hit the stage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So me and the Potato Farmer, we were right up close for Carcass, and boy, oh boy, did that just fucking crush, dude. Oh my God. I had never really heard too much of these guys. I mean, like I would kind of, dabble them a little bit. They totally floored me, dude. They totally floored me. They fucking crushed. I had so much fun.
Legendary band.
Yeah, I had so much fun, and they sounded great. And that can be said for all the bands at that show. I feel like all the bands sounded really, really good. Sound quality there is just top notch. It was so much fun, and the crowd for Carcass was just fucking ravenous, dude. Holy crap.
I think it doesn't surprise me. I think this is one of those situations where a band's reputation perhaps precedes them. Like Carcass, as opposed to Cattle Decapitation, and definitely as opposed to Obituary, they never come through. They've been stateside a handful of times in the last decade, but I think that performance and the crowd response was indicative of a fan base who has been thirsting to see these boys. And you could feel that the crowd had a reverence for them, and that was really rad. Cattle Decapitation, they never disappoint. Always tight as a drum. Technical death metal that is somehow catchy. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they continue to do it. Cattle Decap, they have a string of albums over the last 7 years. I would legit say they've got about 3 or 4 albums in a row that would rival any other heavy metal run in history. So I'm a fanboy. And then, of course, we've got our headliners, Amon Amarth, which I'm not original. I'm not saying I coined this, but it very much resonates with me that they are sort of the AC/DC of death metal. And that is not an insult from me. I love AC/DC. I know what I'm going to get from AC/DC. And Amon Amarth brings that consistency. Franny, I know you were more engaged with them. At that point, I was kind of like, I was observing the can of sardines that was that floor from a distance, but I was just so impressed by the set pieces. I mean, their stage, the giant longboat, they got some guy walking around like Loki pointing some kind of trident at the crowd. Like,
oh, it's crazy.
They have come so far from me seeing them in a small venue 15 might be exaggerating, but 12-ish years ago. I mean, this band is now looking like a band on the par of someone like Ghost, who could play borderline an arena show. Like Amon Amarth can borderline do an arena show. I think they're getting close to that Lamb of God sort of like popularity. Sure. A better band, but that Lamb of God. I'm comparing them to Ghost and Lamb of God from like a commercial standpoint. You know, their success. They're signed to fucking Sony at one point. Like they're selling fucking records.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, man, God. I'm just thinking about the show, and I'm like, just kind of reveling in my own happiness. I had so much fun. The whole show was great, but when Amon Amarth took the pit, wow, they just fucking killed it. They were super tight. They were in the pocket the whole time. They played, a lot of hits, a lot of stuff from their new album, The Great Heathen Army, and at one point they had like two dudes like sword fighting on stage and shit. That was fucking sick. That was really cool. I feel like like kind of like you alluded to, the stage production and just their overall presentation was fucking awesome. Like that little drum, the little plinth that the drummer sits on, which like that Viking.
Hold on, what is that shit called?
The plinth.
Plinth? Yeah, is that like that? Sounds like a fungus. I've never heard that word in my whole plinth.
I don't know if that's the correct word, because I believe it's well, this is getting into semantics here. I'm sticking with plinth. Listeners, if I'm wrong, write us an email, druidsdoompodcast@gmail.com. Let me know how badly I fucked up. Anyway.
Get it together, Franny.
The plinth that the drum set and the drummers sit on was really cool looking. It was like, like a tribal, Viking helmet, like wood carving thing is what it made to look like. And then the eyes had screens in it. It was really sick.
I kind of wish that Amon Amarth would maybe have some set pieces that were maybe like more historically mundane. It's always like these battles. Like I would like to see someone like pulling root vegetables out of the ground or like planing a board to make a boat or something, like sewing a sail, or I don't know, patching up their pants, trying to wash some blood out of their tunics, something that's more about, it's always these heroic tales. What about the everyday drudgery of living in the year 990?
What about the blue collar boys back then, huh? Come on. I will say though that it was like I said, a lot of fun. Got to crowd surf in a kilt. I tried to pull a Cro-Mag tribal elder, but didn't quite work out. But I feel like I got pretty close to it though.
You were trying to flop your dick out in a kilt? Is that what I'm fucking hearing?
Oh yeah.
I have to seriously consider what archetype you are at this point. That is so. This is why I'm sitting up there with the upper crust of society while you degenerates are down there trying to flop dicks out during an Amon Amarth show. But I guess I got to close by just being the curmudgeon in the room, and I'm prepared for you to push back. I've seen all the social media gusto, and I guess I'm just not a fan of fun because I didn't partake in the rowing, but I did see the videos of it, and I know that our local beloved potato farmer was at the head of the pack. And I will say, when you see videos of this, it is impressive. It is really a sight to behold, and it's cool because Amon Amarth, they've always been smart around having a gimmick. It's always a good idea to have a gimmick as a band. And for them, it's their imagery. It's what they sing about. It's the aesthetic presentation about being Vikings. But now, by having all these fucking, would-be Vikings LARPing it up, and I'm one of them, rowing throughout their songs, like that's a way to like extend community to your listener. So that, even though I didn't do it, I respect it.
You fucking square. You missed so much fun, dude. It was so much fun. All of us guys, sitting together, just, heave-hoing and stuff like that. And so I knew that the row pit was going to happen, right? It's an Amon Amarth show. It happens at every one. The thing I was worried about with the row pit is that people would be like rowing off beat or whatever. And that would just kind of, it'd kind of be a little, not lame, but it would kind of, to me, it would detract from the experience a little bit. But like everybody was just right on the beat, right in time. Just, ooh, baby, that was a lot of fun. That was so much fun.
If you can't be on the beat for that, you're like not a fan of music. It's just 1, 2, 1.
Oh,
like shit.
You'd be surprised.
Well, I'd like to see Archspire try to get their fans to do some sort of syncopated. I mean, like, anyway, it was a good show. It was for me, like, I'll just be vulnerable. Like, there's way too many fucking people in that venue for me to have a good time.
Oh, for sure.
I would have had to, like, yeah, I just didn't have I was driving myself. I'm going to have 1 or maybe 2 drinks at a show like that. And for me to, like, charge my way to the front of 1,000 people in a row, I need to have a few drinks, which I wasn't doing. All right, well, Amon Amarth, hopefully they'll come through and play a bigger venue next time because they're clearly ready for it. But I'm ready to move on and talk about what we're really here for, and that is to dissect Home Alone, this bleak-ass, sinister, fucked-up film masquerading as a Christmas classic. Now, Franny, I think this film has had America fooled for a long goddamn time. I remember seeing this as, like, a little kid and, like, loving it. And it's been a number of years since I, like, sat down to watch it, and I haven't, like, critically watched it in a long time. But the whole reason we're doing this is when I got a chance to, like, haphazardly sludge my way through this film, I'm like, God fucking damn, this is a dark movie. This is a heavy metal as fuck movie, and it subverts all these traditional Christmas messages around, like family or kindness or Christmas cheer. It subverts those in favor of violence, sadism, and blood feuds.
It's wild.
This is not a family film. This is a film about family dysfunction, about Kevin's sadism, about inflicting maximum harm on the wet bandits. It's a family story full of imagery that, like, straight up, this could be an autopsy album. This could be a Cannibal Corpse album. The fact that the wet bandits even survived, that's the only Christmas miracle you're going to find in this whole goddamn movie. This movie's bleak. This movie's nihilistic. And before we even launch into it, I fucking can't stand that sick little fuck Kevin McAllister. He is I just gets under my skin. I don't like him.
God, he is the fucking worst. Selfish, little, psychopathic prick that he is. God, he really is, man. I was watching these movies again, too, and the whole time I was just like, God, you are just a real fucking piece of shit, ain't you, bud? Like, God, it was so bad.
To your point, psychopathic little prick. I think you basically summed this motherfucker up right out of the gates, and I want to come back to that because I think you're onto something. We may not be clinicians, but that's as close to a clinical diagnosis as anyone's going to need. Now, what makes a monster? When we call this little fucker a psychopath, why? Let's take a moment to peel back the onion. You know, if ogres have layers, killers have layers. So
Kevin McAllisters have layers.
I want to just start with his origin story, because if you think about some of the darker characters in the history of metal or the history of humanity, there's usually a story behind that. There's a family dysfunction, a trauma, a core wounding event, or series of events behind those characters. And hey, look, Kevin's no fucking different, man. Franny, I just want to first mention how deeply unlikable the McAllister family is on the whole. Fucking self-centered, they're individualistic, and this is the part that really gets me, entitled as hell. I just want to say, I think this family strikes me as libertarian as fuck.
Oh yeah.
I don't, and like, I'm not talking from I don't mean that from like a personal liberty standpoint. I'm talking about wealth accumulation. I don't think they got this wealth from ingenuity. I think they got it from savvy tax evasion and crony trading. I mean, they got this fucking McMansion, and they're flying their whole family out to Paris. How do you afford that? First of all,
what one guy is flying the whole family out to Paris? Yeah, exactly to your point. How the fuck are you doing that?
Well, this one guy, Peter McAllister, I think there's something shady about this motherfucker. I just felt like this guy probably greases a few. He knows which wheels to grease. He knows whose shoulders in City Hall to tap. I just don't think you have that level of wealth without stepping on the little guy.
No, absolutely not. There's no way. There's no way. I
feel like he's probably the type. He's probably putting like a jacuzzi in his summer home. He doesn't want to fill potholes with his tax dollars. He's all about, so he very much sees you and me and any Droomy listening to this as the moochers of society. He looks down on us.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And you can tell from that fucking the way that statue is treated in the front yard, everybody, bashes the shit out of that because they're just like, oh, great, we got to deal with the McAllisters again. These guys are real pieces of shit.
Well, the McAllisters don't give a fuck. If you break the statue, we'll buy another one. We'll have our the nice servant boy next door cast another one in the garage. No big deal. And you talk about why do I get so tied up on the way this family is entitled and their whole ethos around money? Well, did you notice when they're flying around this house, it's extremely wealthy, but everyone is all of a sudden cash strapped when the pizza guy's got to get paid?
Oh yeah. What the fuck is
this poor pizza guy, the whole movie?
All he wants is his damn money, and he's getting the runaround from like the richest assholes you've ever seen in your life.
I like how at a certain spot early in the film too, there's this neighborhood beggar boy who's like rifling through their luggage, and he's like,
dude. You can tell, asking the driver all these fucking questions. Does this thing have 4-wheel drive? Is this thing a V8?
You sound just like him. I feel like they bust that was like spot on impersonation. And I feel like they probably bust that kid on from the inner city, and now here he is to like shovel sidewalks, but he just, he gets a glimpse at the fucking McAllister's luggage. And by the way, he's begging them to bring them back something from France. Not even one of these motherfuckers acknowledges the kid.
No, doesn't exist in their eyes.
So, and this is not just the dad, who, by the way, I do think Peter McAllister, he's mobbed up. I do think he's got some sort of connections. And I think you look at this Uncle Frank also. This guy is a real piece of work stealing crystal on the airplane. All of this is to say that this is a family that's deeply dysfunctional. They're deeply entitled. And it doesn't just extend to the dad and the uncles. It infests the children. So we're going to talk about...
God.
Let's talk about Buzz, his brother. Dude, like, we've got siblings. I know sibling rivalry is normal, but Buzz displays a level of callousness towards his brother Kevin that is just not fucking healthy. It's beyond normal parameters.
Yeah, it's rough, man. Like you said, you got siblings, I got siblings, like, and I got 2 brothers. Like, I know how this shit goes. Like, I got it from my older brother, and then my little brother got it from me. I know how this shit goes. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. But yeah, watching Buzz and Kevin, holy fuck, dude. That really is on another level.
And now, I think like what I want to do is kind of just point out some of the traumas that I see bestowed. Now, this is not to say, even though these traumas are bestowed upon Kevin, these shaming habits, I'm not sympathizing with the kid. I just have empathy for what he went through. Like, monster that he becomes aside, we've got to acknowledge the fucking trauma, because it's alarming. So first of all, we know Kevin's got a serious gluten allergy, and he reacts strongly when the family eats the only gluten-free cheese pizza. Like, they didn't have to do that. They went out of their way to eat this kid's fucking pizza. And then Little Jerk is like the loving pet name the entire family has bestowed. I don't think it's not until they find out he's gone that anyone says Kevin. He's just Little Jerk.
It's wild. I didn't even think of that until you said that. But you're 100% right. That's crazy.
He's just Little Jerk. And so at a certain point in the film, the poor kid's like, why do I always get treated like scum? And everyone just looks at him like, this is your fucking lot in life, you little prick. Look, why were you born, you little jerk? Yeah. So I just got to say that Kevin's experience of being shunned, degraded, humiliated, it's been so normalized that the family banishing him to the attic without food is a common solution for his existence.
Oh, man.
Shit's fucking dark. This is the darkest shit they do in this whole movie. The whole family is just like, they're just like gleefully anticipating letting Kevin's cousin piss on him at night.
Oh my God, dude. That's so, God. Fulton. Oh man, Fulton had soda. He's going to piss
They're just trying to load him up with fluids. They're going to sit him down in front of a fucking camcorder while the whole family stands around a circle and watches Fulton deliver a piss trough right across his face. That's his Christmas. Can you imagine?
Oh my God.
It's that time of the year again, guys. It's hot. It's the holidays. Let's go gather around. Let full piss all over Kevin again.
Oh, Jesus. That's so wild, man.
And then I could not believe this. But then the mom, knowing that Kevin's getting amped up for this golden shower, has the balls to say to this kid, you're the only one that has to make trouble. The whole fucking house is in chaos. The kids had nothing to eat. He's preparing to get pissed on, and he's going to go to bed hungry. Like, and you're singling this fucking kid out?
Yeah. It's the whole family dynamic is just truly and utterly fucked.
This is not a Christmas movie. This is why this movie is bleak. This is a black metal, depressive album waiting to be written. You know, the mom says, in response, Kevin says, everyone in this family hates me. And the mom doesn't say no.
No,
she doesn't. She doesn't say no. He's
not
looking at her.
Word.
He's pleading, Mom, everyone in this family hates me and I want everyone to disappear. And she goes, well, instead of saying no, baby, like not being like, her maternal instincts are fucking shut off. They're gone, because that's when like a mom, like Franny, that's when a mom should, like, even though this kid's displaying some alarming tendencies, he's still at an age where you wrap him up and put a hug around him and say, no, baby, yeah. we love you. Like, come get some fucking pizza. No. Get your ass upstairs. You're right. You're the fucking problem, you little jerk.
And make sure the fucking rubber sheets are on the bed, too.
But anyways, by the time Kevin wishes his family would all just disappear, I would say that he's no longer a boy in that moment. In that moment, what he is a child robbed of innocence and playfulness. At that point, Kevin is the proverbial whipping boy. He's the prodigal son. He's the black sheep. He's unwanted and unloved. That is a fucking heavy metal album waiting to get written. So Franny, before we even go into being left by your parents, before we even go into this, would you call him like a little psychopathic prick?
Yeah, he's a little psychopathic prick, man. He really is.
You can see, though, now, not to say that these things happen in a linear fashion. You can see how born of this sort of dynamic, something like this can happen.
Oh, yeah, it's all conducive to being a psychopath, you know what I mean? All the stuff compounds on each other, and then eventually it comes to a head, and you no longer have a happy Christmas film, you have a borderline snuff film.
You got a borderline snuff film, folks. Like, think about that before you sit your kid down to watch, get the family to watch a little Christmas movie. You think about, you want to watch 8mm? Because that's what you're doing. That's what you're fucking... Special Victims Unit, right here. The men and women of law enforcement. Oh my God. Well, let's talk about this whole premise of being left by your parents, which I just want to say straight fucking away. The premise of this film, which is his family forgets him, is fucking bullshit. Kevin's dad, he knew that they were leaving Kevin behind. This was his whole plan, to have a great vacation. As far as I will take it a step further. I don't think Peter ever wanted kids. I don't think Peter McAllister ever wanted a goddamn kid. He bought that house to make a fuck palace. He brought that house to bring in all sorts of concubines to have coked up parties. He thought this was going to be his little mansion of hedonism. And then, pops out Buzz. Okay, I got one. I can deal with one. But now you're going to grease out this little shit nugget, and I'm going to have to call him Kevin?
Fuck my life.
I think he planned this right from the start. He said... we didn't forget him. We just miscounted. I think he counted correct. I think he knew right from the beginning, but probably had some wild... he probably had this whole Parisian fucking sexcapade planned out. He had his little ball gag in the bag. He was ready to take Mrs. McAllister out back behind the Eiffel Tower and maybe bring Uncle Frank in. I don't know. Maybe make an Eiffel Tower in front of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, God.
You can't do that with this doughy-eyed fucking blonde-haired little shit. This little jerk cramping your fuck style. So I think this was planned right from the start. So now all that being unpacked, all that scene setting, let's talk about Kevin's psyche. So fast forward in the film, we're starting to see some psychopathic traits come out, Franny. His family's gone. The realization that the house is empty is upon him. So what does he do? This is where
I think the psychopathic traits actually come out before his family even leaves. Right? There's a scene right in the beginning when, he freaks out on Buzz because Buzz is like, oh, I got the pizza right here. Grab a plate. I got to throw it up or whatever. And he starts freaking out and he pushes Buzz. But in that moment, you see a knife block on the kitchen counter. And for a brief second, it looks like Kevin's trying to grab a knife. The way his arm's swinging around, it looks like he's trying to grab a knife. Like I said, I think the psychopathic flashes happen before the family even leaves for Paris.
Could that be a bit of foreshadowing? This involuntary, his first instinct is to reach for that fucking cleaver, but he knows with the whole family around, I gotta get this motherfucker alone.
Oh yeah.
Well, family's gone. They're in Paris trying to enjoy themselves. Kevin fucking ruining the sexcapade trip to the Eiffel Tower. But what does this kid fucking do with his time alone? Well, let's unpack some of these exploits. First thing I just want to say, when he's rifling through Buzz's shit, he finds a Playboy, but he doesn't give two shits about that Playboy. And I totally appreciate that there's a spot in growing up where you're not gonna, care about naked women. But I feel like you would at least take a cursory sort of look. And in one of his other early activities, we see Kevin lining up a row of action figures and him as the executioner, blowing them away with a gleeful little smile on his face. So early on, we're getting this sort of like images of violence that the film is intentionally foreshadowing you with. They know what's to come, and they don't want it to be a shock. They want you to know this is a deviant little bastard. You talk about deviance. Franny, I don't know what you were watching when you were a kid. I was like, maybe Chippendales or Stand By Me, or I loved The Sandlot was a great movie. Tell you what I wasn't obsessed with at 8. I wasn't obsessed with The Godfather at 8. I wasn't obsessed with gangster films watching people get killed. Kevin can't say that.
No, absolutely not. He's watching that the Fallen Angels or something like that. I can't remember. It's Fallen Angels in the title or something like that. But, he's watching old man fucking blow away his, love interest. Keep the change, you filthy animal, and that fucking maniacal laugh. I think that maniacal laugh also kind of sparks something inside of him. He hears that laugh in his head and kind of just sets him on this path.
I think you're spot fucking on. I think he hears that laugh. I think he sees that gun and he likes what he sees. And it's in this moment, this murder scene, where Kevin experiences one of his first erections in that moment. And this is this dark intermingling of sex and violence and gangster films and fantasies of snuff. These are the sort of things that 8-year-old Kevin McAllister is spending his time doing. Now, so Kevin, yes, he's the protagonist, but he is not a sympathetic character. As far as I'm concerned, there's only 3 sympathetic characters in this movie: the pizza boy and the wet bandits.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm more sympathetic towards the pizza boy, though. I mean, that guy just he got shafted.
He got a 20-cent tip. That's a joke.
Yeah. Off of $130 worth of pizza. Are you kidding me? You're like the richest fucker in the world over here. Get out of here with that 20 cents tip. You can take the 20 cents and shove it up your ass.
Early in the film, the John Hughes director tries to build a little bit of a rational reason for the torment the wet bandits will eventually, suffer. They knock over homes. So they're not entirely sympathetic. I mean, they're not entirely without guilt, but I also think that these guys, they kind of show their innocence when they're just playing with toys. They're breaking into your home, but what are they really at? They want to play with your trains. They want to recapture their lost innocence. So in terms of, you contrast the petty thuggery of what the wet bandits are doing versus the city-altering crony deals that Peter McAllister is cutting. And now you've got some bigger questions about who the real criminal is.
Oh, absolutely.
I almost wonder, to take it a step further, and I'm not trying to get into socioeconomic status, but are the wet bandits the actual good guys? Because I just got to say, Marv or Harry, I can't remember, whoever Joe Pesci's character is. Marv. Yeah, Marv. Marv wears a fucking gold tooth in his mouth. Like, I gotta say, like, someone that only a desperate person keeps their wealth inside their body.
You're not wrong, though. And we don't know what they do with all those stolen goods. For all we know, they could be donating them to people or something like that, robbing from the rich and give it to the poor. We don't know that.
They call themselves the bandits. They don't call themselves the fucking... I don't know, there is a very Robin Hood vibe there. They don't come across just as petty thieves. Bandits has connotations of giving back to the poor. I think you're spot on, Franny. I think you're onto something. Well, so fast forward, the film is done now. At this point, we spent the first 2/3 of the film in a strong character study. A portrait of a young, demented killer. I don't know if he's quite going to be a serial killer at this point, but what we have seen is a young man, but not a young man with innocence. We have seen this story of his trauma, and he's got this pent-up rage waiting to be unleashed on a couple. Let's be honest, the Wet Bandits, they're small-time crooks looking to score a fucking VCR, okay? And when he realizes everything that's afoot, his first instinct is not to call law enforcement. His first instinct is, this is my house, I have to defend it. That is an extremely thrash metal ethos.
Oh yeah, dude. Absolutely.
Kevin waking up and choosing violence, that is Slayer as fuck.
100%. It is Slayer as fuck, dude. Oh man.
This little fucking shit, this little jerk, he's designing a fun house of horrors. And some of the gimmicks that he comes up with, it just begs to be mentioned. Like, I want to give credit where it's due. He is extremely fucking creative. You have to give him that.
Oh, yeah. I got, I could rattle off a bunch of these things, too. Let's see. He's got, the flamethrower to the head. He's got the charcoal heater on the doorknob. He's basically tar and feathers Marv. He shoots an iron to the face of Harry. He puts glass traps by the window. He puts cars and marbles on the stairs for them to trip up. He's got fucking paint can pendulum, tripwires, tarantulas. He cuts the rope and makes them Tarzan into the brick wall. He makes makeshift punji sticks to stick on the stairs while Harry's walking up it. What 8-year-old knows what the fuck a punji stick is, basically, and how to set it up? I mean, he went above and beyond. He put the tar down, he put the nail down, he put the shingle over it. Like, he thought that shit out, dude. This kid's more maniacal than Buffalo Bill, dude. I swear to God.
It's so hard to excuse his behavior when you see the amount of intentionality that went into this funhouse of horrors. I mean, everything you just described. I mean, he's aiming to burn, bludgeon, and maim the bandits. Clearly a future death metal fan, and I'm just going to say probably a brutal death metal fan.
Yeah.
He's going to be diving into those death metal bands that focus almost exclusively on acts of violence. But all these dark overtones of sadism just make for a metal as fuck, visceral, violent experience. And the crazy thing about these traps that you laid out, this motherfucker could easily catch a manslaughter charge it's a miracle that the Wet Bandits walked away with their faculties, because
oh my God,
he goes way beyond trying to prevent a burglary. He wants to degrade and humiliate, like the tarring and the feathering, like you mentioned. That is not about stopping a burglary. That is about stripping you of your dignity. It just goes so how some of these traps weren't fatal, I have no idea, but it's only for the PG rating that the Wet Bandits didn't suffer a fatality.
Absolutely.
And then you talk about this guy's psyche like this dark little shit. He gleefully prances in response to everything. Every time he levies one of these hell traps, he's skipping along. He's, like I said, it's a good thing they gave him loose khakis, because you would see a little baby boner as he runs along. If they hadn't give this little shit some real thick corduroys, you'd be seeing more of Kevin than you'd want to, because he's fucking gleeful. And that's what's really disgusting and disturbing. It's just a mean movie. Even when he's reunited with his family, even when he sees his mom, he doesn't display the level of joy he shows than when he's dropping paint cans on Marv and Harry.
Oh, God, that's so true, man. He just kind of like sees his mom, and then they both kind of just like, half-ass hug each other. There's no smile on his face really or anything like that, not really. Not quite as big opposite. As when it's not really as when, he's fucking up Marv and Harry. He's getting off on that shit.
He's getting off on that
shit.
Absolutely. And I love that you brought up his mom when she sees him, because there is a moment, much like that moment where he damn near put a couple of holes inside a Buzz with that knife that you mentioned earlier. But there's a moment where the film is silent. Kevin's mom, she sees him, and in that moment, she is waiting for him to run to her and embrace him. But instead, Kevin looks her deep in the eye, and he's telling her, you fucked up. I know you fucked up, and I know you fucked up, and you're not going to get away with it. I'm not going to let you forget this. So even before he embraces his mom, they share that sort of twisted little moment. And I think I can see in Mom's eye for a minute, like, I fought like hell to get home to this little psychopath.
Yeah, it's just dark, man. It's dark. He like you said, you can see it in their eyes. Like Kevin's, like you said, he's not going to let them forget about this, and he's probably going to start turning the screws on his family, or at least I would if I was fucking
only a matter of time.
Little Kevin.
Only a matter of time. You know that in that time that they were away, not only was he rifling through their possessions, but he was finding out about their deepest insecurities to use it against them later. He's a ticking time bomb, and he's always like seeking stimulation. All of these things together is the portrait of a young serial killer. So when we say Home Alone is metal as fuck, it is for all these aforementioned reasons. Heavy metal deals with dark psyches, and this side of Son of Sam, this side of Jack the Ripper, you're not going to find a darker fucking psyche than Kevin McAllister.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it shows throughout the whole movie how dark and twisted this little shit is. I mean, to me though, the most unsettling thought, the thing that really put like me questioning how fucked up Kevin McAllister really is, as an 8-year-old, who the fuck cares if a toothbrush is approved by the American Dental Association? Okay. I am 32 years old, and this kid is asking about a toothbrush being approved, accredited by the American Dental Association. I'm sorry, but only sociopaths and completely batshit crazy people ask about those kind of things, especially an 8-year-old.
I hear that director's cut, you can get an extended edition where that toothbrush, he's using it to thoroughly scrub his asshole because he's so OCD and his neuroses run so deep. He's got to know he can't have an off-brand asshole scrub. So he's got to ask, is this fucking, if it's not approved by the Dentist Association, it's not going to work for him, but fan theories about the film.
Oh, boy.
Well, a lot of what we've shared with you, for those of you who are armchair clinicians or just, interested in the darker side of humanity, you're already going to be familiar with a lot of us. You've already kept your 5-year-old far from this fucking film. And so that being said, we've presented a lot of fresh ideas, but some of these ideas are maybe things you've thought about as well. And the ones we're going to give you now, though, are new to me, and they made me see this film in a whole different way. So, leading off, this movie might be more full of allegory than I realized. This might be full of more symbolism than I realized. But this idea, so Mrs. McAllister, what the fuck? We come this far not knowing her name. Might as well continue. But she's Diane, I don't know, Cynthia. She's pleading for a way back home. And she at some point yells to this clerk from Delta or American Airlines or what, a Spirit. And she's like, look, I will sell my soul. If I have to sell my soul to the devil himself, I'm going to get home to my son. And then, boom, tap, tap, tap on the shoulder. All of a sudden, John Candy appears. He's playing Gus. I wish I knew his last. I don't know. I'm full of not knowing names. But Gus, he's this Polish polka band leader, or so it would seem, with his merry band of fallen angels. I think Gus could have been the devil, offering to take her soul in exchange for a shitty ride in the back of a van where you listen to polka. If she really did trade her soul for that, that is a shitty trade.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, the fucked up thing about that is, like, if John Candy and Gus Polinski and the Polka Boys are
nice,
are the devil and his fallen angels, he is just fucking with her, because if you watch in the movie at the end, she gets home and then almost immediately after, the mom or the dad and the rest of the family show up at the same time. So they would have gotten there at the exact same moment anyway. Devil and Gus and the Polka Boys are just fucking with her.
It's almost like that soul, like that whole like monkey palm or monkey fist, monkey paw, like legend of like, yeah, you're gonna get 5 wishes, but they're all gonna come with a twist. So yeah, I'm gonna take your soul, get you home, but you're gonna get home 30 seconds ahead of your family. And oh, by the way, you're gonna burn for fucking eternity with me, listening to polka. That is metal as fuck. That is,
yeah, dude.
John Candy as Satan in a polka-filled, waltz-filled hell. Jesus Christ, I can't think of a more bleak eternity.
It doesn't get more metal than that.
The most, well, hang on, because here is the most metal fan theory I've seen is that Kevin is actually Jigsaw from the Saw series, and that what we are seeing is his whole formation, his whole descent, his whole acquiring of the taste of man flesh in this Home Alone film, but that he eventually becomes Jigsaw, the puzzle killer, the guy that sets you up with these elaborate traps, the man who makes you fall into his spider web and kills you in the most creative, disgusting, brutal ways.
It totally makes sense, man. It totally makes sense. I mean, throughout the film, you're seeing like Kevin descend into madness with all these, all these booby traps. I mean, for God's sakes, he's got them laid out, drawn on a map. You know what I mean? Like, he's got this shit figured out. He is the taskmaster. He's the puzzle master, whatever the hell his name is. But yes, I could totally see him becoming Jigsaw.
All in all, aside from Mrs. Doubtfire, I can't think of a supposed family movie having darker undertones than Home Alone.
No, dude.
And maybe someday we'll have to get into why I think Mrs. Doubtfire is a dark as fuck movie. Robin Williams dressing up, pretending like he's an old lady just to get close to his kids. Give me back my kids. He's laying out his mask and fake teeth and his fake legs and shit. Like, that is a dark fucking movie. Anyway, that was a hell of a look back on one of the darker films in American cinema. But let's take a look towards the future. As Druids, we would not be here were it not for our clairvoyance. If we didn't have our ability to look at the stars and cast the bones and prognosticate about where things might be going within heavy metal over the next 5, 10, 20 years and beyond, well, would we still be the Druids? So pull up a chair and let's pull out our grimoire, our sacred tome. Let's maybe throw some ingredients in a bubbling cauldron and see what we can learn about the future of heavy metal. As Druids, we're looking to the future. Let's talk about where metal's going to be in 5, 10, 20 years and beyond. What are the trends we're going to foresee? Of course, hindsight's always 20/20, but what I have seen over the course of my heavy metal fandom is sometimes these new waves of certain scenes can also predict their downfall. So right now, my prediction for the next 5 years, hot take for you, this death metal, this old school death metal movement that I love so much, I think within the next 5 years, it's going to be petered out. Much like the thrash revival we saw at the turn of the century, I think that this is a death metal revival that is going to start to slow. And that's not bad, just some bands are going to separate themselves and go to the head of the pack. So I think that that's going to sort of slow down. And I also think there's a pendulum sort of effect with music. We've been in this sort of stripped down, cavernous approach to death metal. I think you're going to see a return of technicality and a return of melody, especially a return of melody. I think you're going to have a big melodic wave of death metal bands hitting the scene over the next 5 years.
I totally agree. It's kind of like you said, there's a pendulum effect or whatever. I think the genres ebb and flow, especially within the metal scene. They rise and they fall and they rise again. You know what I mean? And I totally agree with you. I'm loving what's happening with the death metal revival right now, but I do feel like it's probably going to come to a head and then start lose steam, as you put.
Well, looking at 10 years ahead, now this gets a little more scintillating. I think we have seen just a rash of really good synthwave artists getting more and more popular. And I think you're going to see a marriage of heavy metal and synthwave in a way that lets it become a full-fledged genre. So within the next 10 years, my hot take is synthwave metal is going to become a genre. What do you say?
Oh man, that'd be sweet as hell, because I do like synthwave, and obviously I love metal. Wouldn't be doing the show if I didn't. But yeah, that would be really cool. I also think that within 10 years there's going to be a band, and I'll elaborate on that more.
Sounds like a power metal prophecy. There's going to be a band. Well, within the next 10 years, I also think, kind of a hot take here, I think heavy metal, it's been ascendant now for a little bit of time. I think in the next 10 years, heavy metal is going to be in vogue on a massive scale. I don't think it's going to be ever the pop cultural thing it was in the 80s, but I do think it's going to reach heights that we thought it would never once. We thought might never happen again. Now music's changed a lot. We're not, heavy metal videos aren't really a thing anymore, but I do think you're going to see a massive explosion of heavy metal popularity amongst the normies in society. I think what's going to be behind this, and I'm so hopeful that this will occur, because it's already been happening over the last 20 years, and there's always been women making incredible heavy metal at every time in the genre's history. But I think women are going to lead the charge of making heavy metal more popular to a broader audience, and it's been happening for a while. But if you want to take out this crystal ball, you mark it down. The next 10 years, heavy metal is going to be bigger, and women are going to make it bigger.
Hell yeah, that'd be super rad. And like you said, we are already seeing it. It's been happening for, ever since, it's been around. But like, think of bands like Halder. I mean, Jesus, you said when you saw her, like, the show was amazing, and the fans were loving it. I mean, look at bands like a Squala Grind, or a grindcore band. That's woman fronted, and they fucking crush, dude. If you haven't checked them out, go check them out. But
and I feel like I don't even like to even say like woman fronted. It's like there's a front person that happens to be a woman, and I think you're just gonna see that, and it's gonna be in a very like popular limelighty way over the years to come. I think that it's through women that this genre is going to really take off again. I really do think that that's coming. And in 20 years, shit starts to get wild. Shit starts to get wild as water starts to run out. The refugees on a massive scale as the earth is changing, food's becoming scarce. Heavy metal is finally positioned to where it's singing and making music about the dire themes that we've all seen for years, but now the apocalyptic scale is actually being realized across all pockets of the earth. And as the water wars take off, I think that you're going to see this genre fundamentally change. I think nothing's been able to kill the metal up until this point. At this point, we're in the 2040s. I'm projecting you out to 2045. Nothing's been able to kill the metal up to this point. But I do think in this darkest hour of humanity, that's what almost will kill the metal, because people are going to be pushed to the brink of just trying to survive. But ironically, that's when heavy metal makes its best fucking music. So,
absolutely.
My prediction over the next 20 years, in 2045, you're going to see bands strained to do their craft because of all the socioeconomic issues of the day.
I think within 20 years, there will be a band. And that band is Wild Stallions. I'm calling it right now. The Wild Stallions.
The actual Wild Stallions?
Yes. They finally make their debut in 20 years. They unite the world, and everything becomes a better place. Calling it right now.
I mean, I'm there for it. In terms of an intellectual property, it's a great one. As long as it's a unifying duo. If only there was a unifying duo, a metal band trying to spread the metal message, but they can't make music, but they think they can, and blah, blah. Well, I also think in the next 20 years, I see a rise as well. But I don't see a rise of two unifying the world. I see a rise of bots. I see a cyberdyne of heavy metal, a cyberdyne of artificial intelligence, of bot-created music and art. And I think that there's going to be some serious contentious discussion around art and whether or not it can strictly be human, or whether it's supposed to be strictly human. But by 2045, bot-generated music is going to be very prevalent across all genres. And there are going to be artists who are now squabbling about, hey, we might have used a drum machine in 1988, but these fucking AI pricks over there are stealing our gig.
Oh yeah. What is it? What is it? AI like generated like band and or group or artist music? What going to a show? How does that work? I mean, nothing's going to be on stage.
Holograms,
you know what I mean? Like
holograms, androids.
I suppose by 2045, hopefully we have actual holograms. That'd be sick. But yeah,
gonna be a bunch of real dolls equipped with upgrades, wailing away on their guitars. But
a la Chuck E. Cheese, like this little animatronics just.
The bots they do show up, but they're just markedly less advanced than we were expecting. There's not a lot to be worried about here, guys. I also think within the next 20 years, and I'm so scared to say this, I want to be wrong. I think within 20 years, traditional heavy metal is actually almost gone. I think bands that sound like Judas Priest are actually almost gone at that point. And I hope I'm wrong, but there's always been a vanguard keeping it strong. But that vanguard, it needs support. So we're going to see what happens. But I also think that around that time, a band like Iron Maiden, who to me is like foundational, it's quintessential to heavy metal. You think heavy metal, you think Iron Maiden. By 2045, Iron Maiden is going to be considered a rock and roll band.
Ugh. That's going to be wild, man. You're right. You're right, dude. 100%. Like, music that we think of as metal today, 20, 25 years from now, like our grandkids or, whatever are going to be like, this stuff is weak, old man. You know what I mean? Like
they're going to be arguing. We're going to be like the old guys like that. You might not think it's as intense as your fucking bot gore, but believe me, this shit is heavy metal. It's heavy metal to the bone.
Bot gore.
Bot gore's coming, man.
Oh, God.
Well, in 40 years...
Holy shit.
Now we're looking way ahead. In 40 years, 2065-ish, mechanically enhanced humans are going to push music to its furthest extremes. We've survived the water wars. We've survived the burger wars. But now there's a new war brewing. And this is cults. Cults are going to form around specific camps on humans are allowed to be human and bots are allowed to be bots, but nothing's allowed to be in the middle. But this is some sort of in-between hybrid race playing mechanically enhanced cyborg metal. You got ocular chips, advanced processors. You got hive mind collaborating across great distances and maybe even planets all coming together to put together new music. And in 40 years, I think there are going to be those of us that want to stay we want to stay all natural. We want to be an organic, and we're going to, these aren't necessarily new ideas. But that's what I foresee. I could see other things too. Like I think over the next 20 years, maybe even 10, I think you're going to see, even though metal's always been a super global musical style, I think you're going to see places like Africa, start to really get big into metal. I think you're going to see a lot of Southeast Asian bands get bigger. India. I think you're going to see an explosion of heavy metal in India. China's already starting to get onto the bandwagon. And just mark your calendars for the next 20 years. You're going to start to see these places where maybe there have been small scenes. They're going to start to produce big global bands.
Shit's going to blow up, man. shit is gonna blow up, and I'm ready for it. I can't wait to see what that looks. I'm excited for the future of metal. I mean, I'm loving the kind of ascendancy arc that we're on, like you alluded to, and I'm looking forward to see what comes next and like picks up the mantle and keeps pushing metal forward. I'm cautiously optimistic for the future of metal, I should say.
I'm just gonna be really in a hard spot when the conversations eventually start to happen around what's no longer considered metal. Like I will fight until you get the pride, like the cold dead record out of my hand before you tell me that like Black Sabbath isn't heavy metal, or if you try to tell me Iron Maiden's not metal. That those are like, there are some bands where it's like, we got to agree on this, at least this. Like, you want to bicker about some of this other micro niche bullshit, I'll do it. But let's not ever lose sight of the fact that it all starts with Black Sabbath.
Oh, absolutely. 100%, man.
Well, Droomies, if you're hearing this and you're thinking to yourself, we're way off base, I want to hear from you. What's no longer going to be considered metal? What's going to be the new genres? What do you think of bot gore? When are genres going to die out? What's the rise of the cyborgs going to look like? Is there going to be a heavy metal John Connor that rides in to unite us all against the AI band? I mean, like, and I'm saying all this shit. We got fucking AI generated cover art. So what the fuck? We're already picking sides over here.
Oh, shit.
All right. Well, it's the end of the year, and it would not be a final episode sort of situation if we didn't sit down and pull the listeners in and share little thoughts around what we most enjoyed over the last calendar year from a listening perspective. Of course, a lot of people approach this from the perspective of a top 10 of 2022 list. And what we're going to try to do, we consume a lot of metal, but honestly, neither of us has ever only laser focused on what's happened. I know, Franny, you've been diving into a lot of the most historic releases of heavy metal. So we're going to, rather than give you a top 10 of 22, we're going to give you our most memorable listens of 2022, regardless of when they came out. So it's just a whole lot of shit that we've been listening to that dominated our listening experiences in 2022.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's like you said, we're just kind of what made us get with the feels the most, either how based off of how many times we listened to an album or something that we cherished about it, or like I said, just what made us feel the most in 2022.
I gotta know fucking straight away, am I gonna have to hear about Fellowship in this list?
That's my whole list, is just Fellowship.
It's just Fellowship 1 through 10. You're just gonna list songs.
Just it's the first album. Number 1, first song. Number 2, Oak and Ash.
Looking ahead to 2024, the album of the year, Fellowship. The unifying band in 2030s, Fellowship.
God, if that happened, if they got metal album of the year, I would just laugh so hard in your face.
Well, you might not have to, because I'm going to be the biggest convert writing the article about it. Like, oh, these boys got it. Like, you were holding up the phone to me in Back to the Future, but I wasn't listening.
Oh, shit.
Well, Franny, I know you. I'm especially excited to hear yours, because you're a diehard dyed-in-the-wool metal fan, but you have been digging so much and exploring so much. Like, I can barely fucking keep up with your listening habits. Like, every fucking other day you're sending me some band I should be listening to. So I want to give you some space here. Walk the Droomies through what you most enjoyed in 2022.
All right, Droomies. So this is my 2022 best of recap here. So to start it off, I have The War to End All Wars by Sabaton. Came out in 2022. It's definitely one of my most listened to albums of this year, believe it or not. I just found that out the other day, looking through my Spotify Wrapped and everything like that. It's your typical Sabaton album, nothing new here. A lot of catchy ass songs, notably Stormtroopers, Lady of the Dark, Valley of the Death. Love all of those. Next one, Nocturnus the Key, 1990. Holy shit. When I first heard it, it just blew me away.
Classic.
Probably one of my first tastes of like OG tech death. And I feel like my metal life and journey has been a little bit more complete having listened to it. It's an incredible album. Definitely check it out. Number 3, Blind Guardian, Twist in the Myth, 2006. It's an okay album compared to like the rest of them, but I just love the hell out of it, and I love discovering it. I've listened to the song Fly like 6 times more than the rest of the album. I can't get enough of that song. Don't know what it is about it. It's
God damn, that's like, I consider myself a big Blind Guardian fan, and like that is one of the few albums that just like completely like flies under my radar with them. Like I can't even remember a track off of it. Damn.
Oh man, check it out, man. Like I said, the Fly, the song Fly. I don't know what it is. Can't get enough of it.
I'll revisit it.
Up next, we got Hellfire Reckoning, 2022. Man, God, I'm so glad you showed me these boys, and I can't wait to see their future, because these guys just fucking kick ass. Like I said, The Reckoning was an incredible album. I'm just super excited about it. Loved every track on it. Number 5, Spirit World, Pagan Rhythms, 2021. Totally fucking crushed. 10 out of 10 would listen. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Their album Death Western came out. It was pretty good too. Also really excited to see how these boys' future pan out. Let's see. Up next, we got Inhuman Condition. My God. I mean, Rat God or Fear Sick, take your fucking pick. Both of them just fucking slay. One of the bands that I'm most excited about to see where they come out with, what they put out, because their first 2 albums just totally crushed. And when we found out about them, we were just frothing at the mouth for these guys. Super jealous I didn't get to see them. Really happy for you that you did get to see them. Up next after that, a bunch of guys that I'm really excited about. Storm Ruler. Also, take your pick. Under the Burning Eclipse, their first album, or their newer album, Sacred Rites and Black Magic. Both of them are fantastic. I do think that I like Sacred Rites and Black Magic a little bit more, but that could just be a Cult of the New thing. But they're both really, really good. They're both really good albums.
Fucking rock solid band. And yeah, I knew one of us was going to have Inhuman Condition, and I knew one of us was going to have Storm Ruler. It's only right. I mean, goddamn.
Oh, yeah.
They hooked us up. We love them. I can't wait to see them live again. I think they're coming through with Marduk or Marduk, whatever. Marmaduke, I don't know. But yeah, they fucking crush. I'm loving your list. What else you got, homie?
So this is a band that I kind of reviewed an album. Man, this may have been like the first or second episode. And the band is Kardashev. The album is Liminal Right. It came out in 2022 this year. They're kind of like a proggy metal band, but I listened to it and I really enjoyed it. I gave it a good review, but I kind of did what you did with was it King Diamond with like Annabelle? Was that King Diamond?
Like a lyrical deep dive? Yeah, King Diamond with Abigail.
Abigail. So I kind of did that with this album, and my God, dude, the story behind this album just makes it even better. And it's good. It's a good album too. So, if you're into kind of like doing, a lyrical deep dive or whatever, just put the album on and, listen along with the lyrics. Ooh, baby. And the first 2 tracks, the way it opens up, whoo, doggy, just fucking fantastic. And then my last one to round it all out, a band that I've listened to so much ever since I found out about them, but especially this year as well, Unto Others. God, I mean, really, what can I say about these guys? I can't get enough of them. I really, really hope they've been writing new music while they're on tour. It seems like they've been on tour forever.
They're selling out shows, that's for sure.
But man, I cannot wait for another Unto Others album, because I keep consuming what they have out. Yeah, that's my 2022 recap. What do you got going on over there?
Well, what I got is the first annual Druids of Doom Riffy Awards presented by Wrecker. So I'm gonna fly through this shit for you, but rounding it out right off the bat, the Rotting Stench Award goes to Autopsy for their Morbidity Triumphant. Fantastic.
Wow.
Fantastic death metal. The Metamucil Fiber Plus Award is going to go to Saxon for Carpe Diem. I mean, if you're putting out an album of this strength and like at 75, look at if all senior citizens should have Life Alert, all senior citizens should play heavy metal as good as this. This is the album that Iron Maiden wish they put out, and I love Senjutsu. But again, the Metamucil Fiber Plus Award is going to Saxon for Carpe Diem.
That album does fucking crush though, for real.
Yeah. Taking home the Riffy for Dungeon Master Drip Award is going to be Vianity for their album Elements of Power. Fantastic power metal. I've got next, the Chiropractor's Choice Award goes to, and there's a lot of bands I could mention. I could talk about Uada. I could talk about Wormwitch. In the end, it's a tightly fought, maybe even contentious, hotly contested decision, but Chiropractor's Choice Award is going to go to none other than Bewitcher, Cursed Be Thy Kingdom.
Hell yeah, dude.
Loved it. Moving on with the Riffies, the Oldie But Goldie Award. Now, this is an old album. That's the point. But Rotting Christ's 1994 released Non Servium. I listened to this over and over in 2022. Oldie But Goldie. We've got, and the Shower Sing-Along Award's going to go to Iron Savior, Sky Crash. Just a nice, happy, I've got some guilty pleasures on this list, and that's one of them. I should tell you, with this list, this is what I enjoyed the most in 2022. It's not what I thought was necessarily the most critically impressive. Some of these are, but this is all shit I just had fun and kept revisiting and going back to. You talk about going back. Best Bong Ripper Album Award is going to go to Lord Vicar, The Black Powder. Love that album. Mammoth riffs, heavy as a black hole. Lord Vicar is a band you need to be listening to. Moving on with the Riffies, this next, get your Kleenexes out. The Riffies' choice, I'm Not Crying, You're Crying, Heave Cry Award goes to Paradise Lost for Obsidian. And this is, it's kind of a relatively new album, 2020, not too far back, but that one pulls on the heartstrings. I loved it. It's just when I'm in a real pensive, brooding, rainy day mood, 2022, that was my choice over and over. And now, Franny, we get into some overlap here. My Heavy Metal Parking Lot Award. The Riffy Heavy Metal Parking Lot Award goes to Hellfire for Reckoning. Just an all-around Friday night, 6-pack of beer, let's have a great time record.
It's a feel-good album, man. It feels good. I mean, you feel good while you're listening to it and having a couple cold ones with your homies, chilling in a parking lot.
Well, to round out the Riffies, just a couple to go, we got the prestigious Eyeliner and Cigarette Award, and that's going to go to none other than Unto Others for Strength. I loved this album. I would hang out in any goddamn cemetery. You've got Rotting Corpses Rising from the Dead or not, Fulci making a movie. I don't give a fuck. Put me there. I want to listen to Unto Others every day of my life. Now, most blasphemous is Disaster, Churches Without Saints. This album just guts me. It's something I would never want my grandma to hear. She would probably try to have some sort of boot camp sent to. I would be on Maury. I'd be on fucking Maury as a 39-year-old man. They'd walk me out. I'd be dressed as a goth, even if I'm not a goth. They'd be like, we got to save this kid. And this is the one everyone's been waiting for. And if you've tuned in last week, you know what I'm already going to tell you. But the Riffy of the year, album of the year is Mortuous is Upon Desolation. So that rounds out my 2022 listening. And we're always diving deep. I think next year we're going to expand the Riffies, maybe bring some new topics, and let us know what you're listening to. Send us your picks. And Franny, anything else you've got to say about your 2022 in review?
Not mine, but you ending with a Mortuous, not surprised, but also very, very, it's warranted. It's warranted. That album completely just destroyed. It was so fantastic. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that pick.
Well, fucking fantastic look back, man. Yeah, and I wonder if Spotify, Franny, I feel like Rat God, by Inhuman Condition, anytime one of my albums runs out, Spotify just suggests that album.
I don't know, because it's not that I don't think that it's a bad thing that it pushes it to you, because
it knows the algorithm, the rise of the bots. This is how it happens. They got us figured out, dude.
Oh yeah, they got us pegged.
Talk about, oh boy. Oh boy. All right. Too late in the episode.
Moving on.
Too late in the episode for me to take that bait, but I want to bring a short review to you. This is an album that should have been in that list I just gave you for my most listened to 2022. I kept it for this spot specifically to give it the shine it deserves. And this is not even that great of an album. I just fucking loved it. Like, it's the weirdest fucking thing. Like, sometimes you play a shitty video game that you end up loving, even though you recognize all its flaws. This is like, I'm starting off with like the worst theme on this record. This is like, this is like a TV dinner after a long day at work. Like, you know, this shit's disgusting, but you're still like hungry as fuck. And so it's going to somewhat hit the spot. Actually, I don't know why I even said TV dinner. When the fuck, it's been 15 years since I had a TV dinner, but like a microwavable burrito. I'll have those every week of my life. The album is Where the Gloom Becomes Sound by Sweden's own Tribulation. Tribulation being the gothic purveyors of heavy metal. And, we're all about Unto Others. Well, this is a band that's kind of in that same vein of combining goth and heavy metal and doing so in like a melodic way. So this album, why is it one of my favorite albums of 2022? And I should say my listening of 2022. It came out in, I want to say 2021. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. We're splitting hairs. It's just a fun album packed full of charm. It's anthemic as hell. You're not going to get a lot of bleakness or blast beats like some of their older music would give you. It's just misty stone walkways and moss-covered headstones. This album is just like hanging out in a graveyard smoking cigarettes. It's very emotive and maybe even a little bit, it's kind of youthful in the way it presents its emotions. It kind of feels innocent. So I think that's why I like it so much. It wears its 80s influences on its sleeve. So I'll always gush about the Sisters of Mercy. I'll always talk about how much I love The Cult. Anyone that's familiar with those two bands are going to hear those sort of influences in their sound. And I'll just be like a basic bitch. This is just really accessible. It's easy to listen to. Like, all the songs are just pretty simple and anthemic. It follows the background in a really nice way. So if you're a fan of Ghost, this is a band for you. And I shudder to think how some fans are going to recoil when they hear that. If you want something more inaccessible, more underground, go to their earlier work. They were more daring at an earlier point in their career. But this...
Sure.
This album, Where the Gloom Becomes Sound, it totally is just catchy as fuck. Some people are going to have, problems with that. I think, calling out Darren the Degenerate, if you're a new heavy metal fan, this is the sort of album that could be a gateway album for you. It's got simple, memorable melodies, it's mid-tempo, and it's catchy and fun. You got to knock them a couple points for never really deviating from their sound. All the songs are pretty much similar, but I like what I'm hearing. It's like, it's good Friday night heavy metal. It's easy to put on the background. You could wash your little fucking dishes, or if you're having a fucking TV, you're tossing your TV dinner tray out and on the floor. And if you're Kevin McAllister having mac and cheese before you're laying out some goddamn death traps, you might be throwing this on in the background. So it's just easy to get into. I'm not proud that having a collection full of like underground death metal albums, that I'm telling you that this is like my favorite listen of 2022, but it's just the fucking truth. And I'm not going to be a druid from another fluid. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to give you the goddamn truth. So I would give this
fluid, real talk.
Fluid of my fluid. I'm going to, we run together. All right.
Oh, shit balls, dude.
So, all that is to say, it's a soup. This is a strong 7 out of 10. Eyeliner smears running down my face. My heart's broken. I'm in a failed relationship. I'm a teenager. It brings me back to all those sort of memories. I'm going to give it a very strong 7 out of 10, though. So, maybe not the most critically cool, daring album ever, but Where the Gloom Becomes the Sound. I fucking love this album. Check it out.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well, I see your Swedes, and I'm going to raise you some more Swedes. The album that I'm bringing to you this week is some more Swedish boys, Screamer. Okay.
Oh boy.
The album is Highways of Heroes, came out in 2019. Oh, so good. So good. I mean, totally invokes old school British heavy metal. You totally get that vibe. This is the new wave of traditional heavy metal. I mean, it sounds like the old, but is new. You know what I mean? The mixing on this album is just fantastic. You can hear everything, especially the bass, which is awesome, and it's indicative of like Iron Maiden, because I feel like, you know, in Iron Maiden you could always hear the bass for the most part, the bass guitar.
Oh, definitely. Steve Harris is like he's the driving force of the sound, right? I love that.
And I love hearing that. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I love a lot of like newer metals, but sometimes you can't really hear the bass and stuff like that, which it totally detracts from it. But you know, splitting hairs, can totally hear the bass. Love it. The vocals by Andreas are amazing. They're amazing. The lyrics are catchy as fuck. He's got such a strong voice. There's parts of the song, parts of the time, like I hear almost like a Paul Stanley from Kiss. You know, I get a little bit of that vibe, but like when he does the higher pitched screaming, I get Rob Halford. Oh my god, I get
Slow
Rob.
Down, baby. Slow down, baby. You're okay.
I get Rob from Judas Priest, like when he does the super high pitched screaming. And the riffs are totally catchy. They're total killers. The solos are fucking fantastic, especially in Shadow Hunter. Woo, baby! The solo in that is just fucking amazing. I mean, it's not groundbreaking material, right? But it's catchy as a motherfucker. It just gets stuck in your head, and kind of like you alluded to, it's a great album to just put on Friday night and just relax and have a good time with. Some of my standout
band.
Oh, they really are, man. They totally are, and I can't wait for the new album to come out. And I think next month, actually.
I ordered it on vinyl, and just to throw them some support, I'm waiting eagerly for it to arrive.
I can't wait for it. Some standout songs on this album. I again alluded to Shadow Hunter, probably my favorite song off that album. Riders of Death, that's also a really good one, and Halo. If you like old school, you know, British heavy metal, check these guys out. You won't be disappointed. I'm giving this one a solid 3.75 out of 5 Franny packs. Like I said, it's not groundbreaking, but catchy as fuck, and I can't stop listening to it.
I love Screamer. I hope that they come through again. You nailed it. They're just fun. I mean, heavy metal, it heavily skews towards not being fun in 2022. So when a band is fun, I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have just submerged myself in this rotten old school death metal wave, but how often is that fun? Like, it's Undeath is one of those bands where they can be kind of fun and still pull it off, but they're always, that's why we've got to make sure we resist. And by 2040, we have to make a stand. We cannot let traditional heavy metal die. We will fight to our last breath to keep it alive. So,
well, I feel like bands like Screamer and Hellfire are doing just that. You know what I mean?
100%. And I want to see those bands. I want to see bands like that get brought out on the road for like this Amon Amarth tour. Like, it'd be so amazing if like some of these larger tours would show some love to these bands who are playing the style of metal that provided the backbone for everything else. So don't get me started, Franny. Well, that's what we've got on the main topics, the side bits. You got your little, if we just ate a TV dinner, that's us mashing down some disgusting chemical mashed potatoes. We've got some frostbitten peas on the side and some mystery meat in the middle covered in some sauce that we can only hope is at least 42% animal-based. But what does that leave? Well, a brief look back on the whirlwind that has been 2022 and the Druids of Doom. We have forged metal archetypes. You've been there from the very start. You've been at shows with us, Droomies, looking out for the different archetypes of heavy metal. We discovered a Cro-Mag tribal elder who cast the bones in a cave deep below the earth. The term Droomies were coined. The show has reached every continent except Africa, which is that's a goal for 2023. We're going to get
man.
Ghana. We are coming for you. I would love to meet some Droomies from Ghana. We're going to find you and we're going to bond, baby. I have come to terms with the fact that I like some deathcore. That's a pretty big thing for me to put out there into the internet. Internet's forever, and I have. Anyway, there has, I mean, perhaps most importantly, Franny, fluid from another druid. Oh, wait a second. That's something totally different. The fluid from another druid is something else. Well, that's, you know what? Maybe that's appropriate because I'm just jerking us off as hard as I can. But we forged a druidic coven, which includes all of you druids walking the path with us. This is a sacred order. You are part of the coven, and you've been listening to this. You've been following us here. We're on what, episode 8? I don't know, but this has been a robust 2022 for the druidic coven. So all that said, we've had a lot go down this last year, and Franny, it's been fucking amazing riding this hell wave with you, and it's been fun growing the show. So I'm going to shut up and pass it off to you, and you tell them all the stuff that you got to tell them.
All right. Well, I just want to personally say thank you to all you Droomies out there for an incredible opportunity to bring this show to you. Wrecker and I started this kind of on a whim, didn't know where it was going to go. We just kind of wanted to do it, thought it would be fun, and it's been nonstop fun doing this show for you guys, and we appreciate you, and we hope you guys appreciate us for putting the stuff out there. Couple notable mentions. Richmond, we're talking to you. Albuquerque, we're talking to you. Brookings, we're talking to you. Craigo from Australia, we're talking to you. Deutschland, ich spreche mit dir. And of course, the Twin Cities. Just want to thank all of you guys so much for listening. Make sure to check out our Instagram, leave some comments, tell us what you like and what you don't like. And as always, make sure you write into the Druids of Doom podcast at gmail.com. Let us know what you're listening to, what your favorite 2022 albums or listens to were. Tell us what you want to hear. Tell us what we think we should be doing in 2023 and beyond. Tell us how you feel about the coming of Wild Stallions.
Tell us if you brush your asshole with a dentist-approved toothbrush, or if it's okay to get a dollar store toothbrush for that shit.
Absolutely.
How soft of a bristle do you need?
Extra soft. Only
I like a rigid bristle. I need something that's got a little torque behind it.
Oh, God. All right, Droomies, we're getting the hell out of here. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Happy holidays, Happy Festivus, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy whatever else you got going on. Thank you again for a fantastic 2022. And remember to stick around for the next episodes of Druids